Hi, I'm certified nutritionist Mira Calton.
And I'm Dr. Jason Calton, and welcome to Calton Nutrition TV and this episode of Cooking with the Caltons.
Now, what we're going to do today is we're actually going to make 3 different salad dressings in just a matter of minutes. We're really excited about this. This actually came from my sister Lisa. I'm just going to give her a shout out over at the Caledonia Village, and she owns a restaurant, and she's been working with SKINNYFat and making a lot of things for her restaurant, so she sent these in as some easy salad dressings that we can all learn to do.
That's up in Rochester, New York, by the way. It's an excellent restaurant, so if you get a chance, stop in. Now, we're excited today because we're going to do more recipes with SKINNYFat. If you tuned in last time, we talked about our 5-minute SKINNYFat mayonnaise.
And then how to convert that into the blue cheese and also into the Cajun dressing.
And the Cajun dressing. So if you haven't looked at those videos yet, you can see them in the Rich Food Resource Center under our Rich Food recipes. But today we're going to use SKINNYFat to make a really back to the basics Italian dressing. This is a dressing that you'd find at a typical Italian household. Right?
Absolutely. It's something that you make last, you just make up and you have around all the time to throw on a salad whenever you just want a quick dressing. Now the thing is, this one is going to use, unlike the last one where we used SKINNYFat Original, we're going to use SKINNYFat Olive in this recipe.
So let's tell you just a little bit about SKINNYFat Olive and just review real quickly what SKINNYFat is. SKINNYFat allows you to have all the benefits of coconut oil. Of course, we've heard all the benefits, the heart healthy and the brain boosting benefits of coconut. And what we did is we combined that with something called medium chain triglycerides. In a nutshell, what that
MCTs.
Or MCTs. Now, what that allows us to do is it allows us to use coconut oil like a regular oil. It means it's liquid at room temperature. It's even liquid when we use it as a marinade in the refrigerator.
Which this is going to make a great marinade. Actually, all of the dressing as well.
Now, what you might not know about medium chain triglycerides is that they don't get stored the same way as regular body fat does. In fact, they go through the liver and convert right to ketones or immediate energy. And so that's why we call it SKINNYFat, because not only is it a coconut MCT oil blend that you can use for cooking, but it actually burns fat. So the more of it you use, the more fat you burn.
Absolutely. So this one, the other cool thing that MCT does, it actually enhances flavor. So it is fantastic for dressings because it actually makes every little flavor there, including the olive and the olive oil one, just burst out all that more. Now the thing about olive oil is it has a really high omega-6 quality level, and you don't want that because that causes inflammation. So we actually, by just putting a little bit of olive oil into well, first of all, it's an organic, extra virgin olive oil, and we sourced it ourselves, so we know it actually is olive oil. We added it in, and it actually makes the flavor of the olive oil really intense, but it only has 85% less of the omega-6.
Right, so you use this just in place of your traditional olive oil. Then take the olive oil, set it aside, bring the SKINNYFat olive in, and just use it the same way you would your traditional.
So this is some of the traditional simple Italian dressing that I already have sitting aside. I'm going to give you all of the ingredients verbally. I already have this done because I generally keep this ready and done so that I can actually use it as a base for the other things that I like to make in my kitchen.
Just a staple dressing we keep in the fridge.
It's really easy. It lasts a long time. We have a really nice popping type of a lid on this. You want to seal your dressings with something that has a rubber seal on it that keeps everything fresh as well. So this has in it, this is actually a double recipe, I think, but you can take 2/3 of a cup of the SKINNYFat olive with 4 tablespoons or a 1/4 cup of the red wine vinegar. Now the red wine vinegar we use is organic. And want to explain why?
Well, you want to use, no matter if you're using white vinegar or you're using red wine vinegar, you want the organic. Why? Because white vinegar comes from corn typically, and of course corn, 86% of it is genetically modified. Now, grapes aren't genetically modified right now, but they are full of pesticides, one of the highest pesticide sprayed crops. So you don't want to be getting your red wine vinegar where they could be sprayed with harmful pesticides. The organic red wine vinegar protects you from that.
So it's a 1/4 cup of the red wine vinegar. We take in 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, which I love minced garlic, and you can add a little bit more if you're like me. And you just salt and pepper to taste. It's really, really simple. You use real salt so you get all of the minerals, and you don't use one that's already been processed. And then an organic pepper as well. We always like our organic spices, coupons in the Rich Food Resource Center. That's all it is. It's really, really simple. There's no blending. There's no anything. You stick it in a jar, you seal it, and it's ready for you and your family to have on salad.
The thing I love about this stuff is that actually the longer it stays in there, as you can imagine, the flavor just becomes incredible. I mean,
now I can lick it because it's mine.
Really good. You're going to love this. This is just a basic salad dressing. So then what do we do with it next?
Well, now we're going to take it and we're going to make it into a Parmesan peppercorn.
Yeah.
Which I think is one of your basic other... Jason likes things creamy.
Yeah.
So that's...
I like cheese. I like cream. So this is a cheesy, creamy Parmesan peppercorn recipe. It's very easy to do. Now what we're going to do is we've got these hand-immersed in blenders. We're just going to pour it into a container that comes with the blender. And we're going to start with this as a base.
Yeah, so we're going to start with half a cup of this. Okay. And about half a cup, perfect.
Right, we're going to pour it right in. And then what are we going to add to that?
Okay, now, there's a couple different options here. And it just depends on how much fat you want in your salad dressing. I'm not afraid of fat, and I like things to be really, really rich, as does Jason. So we're going to use sour cream, a full-fat sour cream, organic sour cream, of course. And that's what we opted for. Now we're going to do it with this, but you could also do it with like an organic Greek yogurt, still creamy, but that has 0 fat. So it just depends what kind of diet you're following.
Right.
Like we always say, it's about making sure you have those nutrient-rich foods, not about the ratio of your fats, your carbs, and your proteins. That is just for you personally. It's not, one is not better than the other per se. It's just whatever kind of a diet you're following.
Right, and of course we say, because we say organic cream or sour cream or organic yogurt, again because the cows are often fed genetically modified ingredients if they're not organic, so they're fed corn and soy, and also they tend to use RBGH, which is a synthetic growth hormone that's actually been genetically modified. So we don't want that.
Like that stuff.
So you put that in there, then what do we add?
Then 4 heaping tablespoons of freshly grated Parmesan cheese.
Yeah.
So freshly grated because if you buy it out of a bag, if you buy it in a shaker, there's usually something called cellulose in that.
Right.
And cellulose is just wood pulp. So you're really paying for the wood pulp and not really getting the great product that you want, which is the cheese, which actually has micronutrients in it.
Yeah. You can tell if your shaved or shredded Parmesan or any of your shredded cheeses has wood pulp in it by looking for cellulose on the ingredients.
Right, and most do. So you really have to cut, just grate it fresh. It's not a real hassle.
Piece of cake.
So that's all you're going to do. You're going to blend that first.
Okay. I'll just use the hand immersion blender here. It's pretty simple. Blends up really quickly. Of course, we're using SKINNYFat as the oil, SKINNYFat olive in this particular one, because we like that Mediterranean flavor. So that blended up very, very nice.
And then it wouldn't be Parmesan peppercorn if it didn't have fresh peppercorn.
Okay.
So then what you do is you literally just crack away, and you want it to be visible. You don't want, that's one of the great things about Parmesan peppercorn. The peppercorn flavor is going to come out more and more as it sits. So just do that.
Okay. Stir it up.
Stir it up real quick.
And you can see the peppercorn flakes in it.
It looks just like delicious.
Yeah, it looks just like something you buy store-bought, of course.
Okay, who's the taster on this one?
I'm the taster on this one. This is...
I'm a taster too.
It's really nice. You can taste.
That's good.
You can taste the Parmesan cheese. Of course, you can taste that great sour cream that we've got.
Now,
and so you can just store that. We use ball jars. And so you can just pour it in the ball jar and we'll store that for later. And I'll be having some wings or something.
Some salad, some steak.
Later.
You also marinate chicken in this. It's really, really, really good as a marinade.
Now, sometimes we throw dinner parties, and of course there's a lot of people who might be coming to your dinner party who may be vegan or may not be eating dairy. So we're going to do a quick vegan version of our creamy, cheesy Parmesan peppercorn, and it's really easy to do.
With no cream and no cheese.
Right. So how do we get around that? Well, we use avocado. We use the avocado for the creamy texture, and then we use something called
nutritional yeast.
Nutritional yeast. Sometimes referred to as fortified nutritional yeast. Now you should know, and this nutritional yeast, just in case you didn't know, has kind of a cheesy flavor. That's why they use it. So it's going to take the place of our Parmesan cheese. And there is a difference between nutritional yeast and fortified nutritional yeast. If you're looking for the B12 benefit, you'll want the fortified kind.
So same concept here. You started with your half cup of your simple olive oil Italian dressing, SKINNYFat olive Italian dressing, I should say.
And how much do you use?
It's an avocado, one whole avocado.
One whole avocado.
That's going to make it really nice and creamy.
And then this is
some
1/4 cup of our nutritional yeast. Just dump it right in.
And again, cracked pepper. Now, why do you use the cracked pepper instead of the ground pepper? It just is, it's more pleasing to the eye. It also gives you a much more strong, intense, peppery bite in the dressing. So it's just better when you're doing that.
Now, if you've read our books, Rich Food, Poor Food, I'll just give it a quick around here. Oh, that's great. You kind of see it's just blending up.
And again, to the ball jar.
It's a little,
We have a lot.
it has a little bit different look to it, which is going to be easy to differentiate it then at the table. Let's go ahead and try it, just see what that tastes like.
Okay, I'll get another spoon.
That actually tastes really good. I mean, not that I have anything against dairy or anything against cheese products, but that's actually a really nice variation on this peppercorn. The avocado brings out a really nice kind of springtime flavor in the dressing. Now, you might be asking, why do we use organic peppercorn and organic spices all the time? Aren't regular spices okay? Well, oftentimes when you use regular spices, they do something called irradiation, which means they basically stick something that's very similar to an X-ray through the food to protect it from contaminants when they import it into the country. And the problem is that creates free radical formation, and as those spices sit in our cabinet for years, you know, sometimes months or even years, those free radicals can create problems.
Yeah, they just build up and reproduce over time.
So we just always use organic spices.
So there you have it. I mean, it's 3 dressings. It took no time at all. You have no excuse anymore. Okay, we don't want to hear, where do I get salad dressing in the grocery store? Because that's why we created SKINNYFat Olive. It's one of the real reasons. Because all of the store-bought grocery store salad dressings have seed oils, genetically modified corn oil, canola oil, and even the ones that say olive oil aren't really necessarily even olive oil being the main ingredient. Maybe you put a dash in just to fool you. And none of the ingredients are organic usually, so your spices are irradiated.
Right.
So we really wanted to create a product like SKINNYFat Olive where you could start to just make the kitchen salad dressings on your own.
Right.
And 3 fantastic options, took no time at all.
Yep. So that's it. If you haven't gotten SKINNYFat or SKINNYFat Olive yet, you can find it online at caltonnutrition.com.
Absolutely. And make sure you become a member of the Calton Nutrition Optimal Life blog.
Right.
Because that's where you keep seeing these videos come out once a week, and we are actually going to be doing some baking soon and some other really fun videos.
Yep.
We're starting off really simple, and we're sort of going to work you into the kitchen, so you'll get used to cooking with us.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this time with Cooking with the Caltons. We'll see you next time. Make sure to check out some other great features on Calton Nutrition TV. Until next time, bon appetit.
See ya.
Bye.